Uncertainty greets you before the alarm sings, deadlines crowd your mind, and every shadow whispers run. Yet as night thins toward dawn, a pale hush settles outside the window, asking whether you will keep racing or finally let your breath slow. In this first silver light, the Almighty, your sure refuge, spreads quiet wings over the restless street, inviting surrender. You stand at the threshold of a day that can overflow with calm instead of hurry, peace instead of turmoil, serenity instead of strain. Hear his promise. In returning and rest you will be saved. In quietness and trust is your strength. Isaiah 3rd and 5th. These ancient words remind you that God's strength rises when your pace lowers. What burden clatters the loudest in your chest? Which desire needs gentle hands more than your frantic grasp? Now, as your heart grows still, we step into the soft pathway of release, breath, refuge, calm peace, and radiant serenity. Light climbs the edge of your curtain, thin as a promise too delicate to hold. You feel yesterday's tempo still drumming in your veins, a silent metronome demanding another relentless performance. Your planner waits, your phone glows, yet the spirit suggests a different agenda. Unhand the rush. Close your eyes, envision every unfinished task as russet leaves swirling at your feet, ready for the kind wind of God to lift them toward his sky. Listen to the stillness between heartbeats. That gentle hush is heaven's signature, confirming that nothing valuable is ever wasted in holy time. Christ whispers, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." As Matthew 11:28. Rest is not escape but communion, a transfer of weight from your shoulders to his throne. Allow that truth to drip through your muscles, untangling the knots behind your ribs. As dawn widens, become honest about the load that accelerates your pace. Unpaid bills, fragile health, a conversation stuck on replay. The H of wanting approval. One by one, pour these concerns into cupped hands of prayer. Then place them upon an invisible altar overlooking a slow, moving river. Hear the steady water lap against smooth stones. Its rhythm counters your hurry, teaching that seasons change, yet rivers reach the sea without strain. The Creator who sculpts tides also orders your hours. Divine patience nourished cedars for centuries before letting them rise tall. When you release timing to him, you confess that heaven's clock is wiser than your own. Feel space open inside your chest, like window panes pushed wide to receive morning breeze, inviting oxygen of hope to flood hidden corners. Gratitude is the companion of release, because thankfulness anchors freedom, so it does not drift back into worry. Begin to bless God for time to sip water slowly, for sunlight angling across tile, for the voice of a bird daring a new song. Each acknowledgement is a seed of peace rooting deeper than tension. Your mind still sketches outcomes, but gratitude interrupts with worship. The psalmist affirmed, "Truly my soul finds rest in God, my salvation comes from him." So Psalm 62:1. When the soul rests, imagination unfurls, compassion widens, discernment sharpens. Notice how possibilities once blurred by agitation now sparkle with clarity, as though dew has been brushed from meadow grass. Here, within quiet joy, your story is rewritten in smoother lines. To preserve this unburdened posture, carry a quiet breath prayer. Slow me, shepherd, letting its gentle cadence untie knots whenever traffic stalls or screens blink red. View every red light, every cue, as an invitation to synchronize with the deliberate stride of your guide rather than an obstacle. Imagine walking country paths beside him, dew darkening your sandals while skylarks herald morning. Notice you never need to race ahead to make him love you. Responsibilities remain, but their tyranny ends where companionship begins. Draw curtains wide, let rose gold light melt across the floorboards, painting a silent doxology. You have not discarded duty, you have traded panic for partnership. The kingdom advances through souls unhurried enough to hear subtle directives. Breathe again, uncurl your fingers, and step into today knowing release is the first gift heaven handed you at dawn. Mist hovers over rooftops like a held-in sigh, urging you to match the gentle tempo of dawn. Feel lungs expand the width of quiet sky, shoulders easing downward as if stones are melting into sand. Each measured inhale draws pale light inside. Each unhurried exhale releases night's debris. Regrets, comparisons, the throb of unfinished lists. Imagine the rhythm of waves against a patient shore. They never sprint, yet they smooth jagged rock into silk. Your own cadence can echo that tide, baptizing thoughts in steady cadence until mind and body agree on calm. Creation conducts an unseen liturgy of respiration. Cedar needles shimmer as breeze moves through them. Sparrows puff feathers before chirping. Even distant clouds swell and empty in their slow migration. Join that choir. Whisper, spirit, breathe within me, and feel air blossom across the chambers of your chest like soft dawn flushing east. Scripture invites, be still and know that I am God. Psalm 4:16-10. Stillness is knowledge wrapped in silence, recognition birthed from rested lungs. Let those words settle under your ribs where heartbeat meets hope, teaching you that knowing requires slowing. Notice how deliberate breathing unties knots behind your eyes. Blood flows warmer, jaw unclasps, and thoughts once tangled like vines begin to unfurl leaf by tender leaf. Anxiety survives on shallow inhalations, peace thrives on deeper draughts. Allow each exhale to carry a confession of hurry. You cannot control outcomes, but you can choose pace. Picture worries drifting away like dandelion seeds. They may land somewhere, yet the breeze determining their flight is wiser than your grasp. As breath lengthens, soul stretches, creating sacred room for insight to settle rather than ricochet. Now tune your senses to subtle sounds. A kettle whispering before boil, a distant motorcycle easing through gears, the faint crackle of pages turning. These ordinary notes become bells reminding you of presence permeating everything. With every attentive breath, you stitch your awareness to this moment, refusing to time travel into next hour's demands. You find that when attention anchors firmly in now, fear of future scenarios dissolves like fog under rising sun. Heaven's calm is not absence of responsibility, but alignment with eternal tempo. Like planets orbiting without haste, you can revolve around His will without strain. Carry a silent mantra. Inhale mercy, exhale striving. Whenever crowds surge or notifications erupt, let its cadence escort you from boardroom glare to elevator hush, from traffic roar to evening lamp. Should pace quicken, pause, count 4 heartbeats in, hold grace for 4, and release for 4 more. Such simple liturgy rewrites nervous system script, transforming body into chapel. Gratitude follows thank God for lungs expanding, for air laced with jasmine, for a pulse declaring you alive to receive new mercies. Each thanks is an anchor so peace will not drift with the first email ping. Through practiced breathing, you weave serenity into muscles and memory, preparing to rest in deeper refuge still ahead on this pilgrimage of dawn. A quiet hush now settles over the room like feathers drifting to the earth, reminding you that true shelter is softer than stone walls and taller than city towers. Picture an ancient cleft in a mountainside. Hidden from storm and glare, step inside with heart bowed low, sensing how the rock absorbs every echo of hurry you surrendered moments ago. You have tried to build safety with calendars and savings, yet winds still slip through pride, patched gaps. Here, divine refuge does not demand bricks, but trust, an unseen canopy stretching wider than circumstance, strong enough to cradle the world, yet gentle enough to cradle you. Feel breath slowing further as you lean against this sacred citadel where no deadline bites, no comparison scolds, no unseen menace lurks. Listen, rain begins outside, tapping roofs like fingers on a lullaby drum, but not one drop trespasses the haven of God's promise. Scripture assures, I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God, in whom you trust. Psalm 9:1-2. These ancient words invite you to echo them, trading first-person declaration for second-person experience. You rest because He remains unmoved. You breathe because His walls never crack. Notice how your shoulders sink deeper into peace when identity anchors in such assurance. Now survey the interior of this refuge. Its walls glimmer with past deliverances, moments when accidents were averted, conversations softened, provisions arrived just in time. Each memory is a torch fastened to stone, casting warm light across the present. Wander these corridors thoughtfully. Thank God for every rescue that escaped your notice until now. Gratitude turns hindsight into present, tense security, convincing your mind that the defender who shielded before will guard again. Imagine laying down mental armor you crafted from sarcasm, business, or self-sufficiency. Feel the freedom of unclasped helmets and unstrapped breastplates sliding quietly to the floor. Protection no longer requires performance. Refuge is bestowed, not earned. In this rest, silence becomes teacher. Hear how the heartbeat inside your ears slows to a meadow's pace, how air lingers, sweet on the tongue, like dew warming under sunrise. Let sacred hush retune inner dialogue. Instead of "what if," you whisper, even if forecasts darken, your sanctuary stands. Even if approval withers, steadfast love enfolds you. Merge imagination with faith. See Christ at the mouth of the cave, eyes kind yet vigilant. Weathering arrows you will never feel. Resolve that you will not scurry back outside into clamor until soul has drunk fully of this stillness. Carry a token from the refuge into day, perhaps a verse memorized, a stone pocketed from morning walk, or the simple mantra, safe in you. When crowds thicken or sirens rise, close fingers around that symbol, and corridors of calm open inside you again. Speak refuge over loved ones, co-workers, and strangers who appear harried. Your serenity can become their invitation to step under the same vast covering. By evening, you will recall that peace flowed not from perfect circumstances, but from unbroken communion with the fortress who travels with you. For now, linger another breath, trace humility across floorboards of grace, and realize rest is not a pause between labors. Rest is the soil where tomorrow's fruit will bloom. Fresh light spills across the horizon like silk unrolling from an invisible loom, and you stand inside its soft embrace, ready to receive what cannot be earned calm descending from higher realms. Imagine sunrise pouring over a mountain lake, glass smooth, unbroken by wind, mirroring dawn's gentle hues. That mirror invites your interior waters to settle likewise. You close your eyes and picture thoughts as ripples. With every breath, surface tension eases until reflections shine clear again. A hush more eloquent than words forms between heartbeat and breath, telling you that tranquility is not absence of sound, but alignment with eternal cadence. Rested lungs now draw air rich with promise. Hint of jasmine, trace of wet earth, whispering that creation itself exhales benevolence each morning. Let this fragrant breeze glide along shoulders, unraveling final strands of tension. You no longer clutch agendas, palms open like lilies, wide enough to catch liquid peace pouring from heaven's cisterns. Feel it seep into marrow cool, steady, luminous. It does not merely coat anxiety. It permeates, transforming frantic pulse into composed rhythm. The difference between forced quiet and gifted calm is grace. One demands control, the other invites surrender. Attend to subtle harmonies. A dove coos from a distant roof. Traffic hums like a low cello. Kettles whistle soft preludes. Instead of resisting noise, you weave it into a tapestry of present grace. Every sound becomes proof that calm can coexist with activity, just as a river glides despite hidden currents. You taste serenity's flavor at the tip of tongue, lightly sweet, like rain gathered on ripe fruit, reminding you that peace is meant to be savored, not hoarded. Offer gratitude for this flavor. Thank God that silence found you, that quiet moves through arteries, that you stand enveloped in rest sturdy enough to walk into crowds. Now envision a fountain emerging within, clear water rising from unseen depths, swirling gently before coursing through veins. This fountain symbolizes spirit, given composure, steady no matter who speaks sharply, what email flashes urgent, which plans unravel. You resolve to return to this inner spring whenever thirst creeps in, a single whispered phrase, "Still my waters," will reopen flow. Practice now, breathe, speak the phrase, feel current surge. It is not mere visualization. It is participation in divine reality, where Christ, Prince of Peace, kneels beside the well of your soul and lowers his cup toward you. You drink, and worry's residue sinks to silt. Carry this calm outward, let gaze soften when meeting hurried eyes. Let voice round its edges, let footsteps echo measured grace along hallways. You become a living threshold where others sense sanctuary. They may not know why shoulders drop near you, yet heaven celebrates that calm multiplies through presence. Promise yourself to pause at noon under any patch of sky, tilt face toward light, and recall Lake, still dawn. In evening, recount moments when serenity steadied choices, when you answered gently, waited instead of pressed, smiled instead of sighed. Such recollection roots peace deeper, teaching memory to favor composure over chaos. Finally, bless the day ahead. May calm cushion every conversation. May stillness guide each decision. May serenity trail behind every step. Whisper it like incense. Watch words drift upward, mingle with early clouds, and descend invisible over streets you will walk. Heaven has poured its quiet into you. Now you pour it back into world one unhurried breath at a time. Light gilds the rim of rooftops as you step outside, and cool air tinged with honeysuckle greets ankles, still remembering the softness of bedside rug. Every sense registers freshness. Sparrows stitching the hush with quick calls, clouds drifting like pale sails, the rich aroma of street-side coffee. Yesterday's calm has settled in to sign you now ready for movement. Pace deliberate, soles kiss pavement without hurry. You carry quiet like a lantern that neither gutters nor flares. The kingdom is not distant. It walks beside you at the speed of trust, reminding the city that grace knows every alley and avenue. Recall the assurance. Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. John 14:2-7. Christ offers a climate of spirit that outlives weather, headlines, and honking horns. Permit that promise to score your cadence the way a gentle drum guides dancers. You do not chase serenity, you host it. And wherever you tread becomes temple floor. Instead of jostling through crowds, you glide, and hurried feet around you subconsciously slow to match unseen rhythm. Survey the road ahead, meetings, errands, assignments threaded like beads along a cord. Envision sliding each bead through calm fingers, noting texture yet refusing to clutch. When expectations grow loud, answer with measured breath, choosing presence over prediction. Should timetables twist, picture a river bending around stones. Flexibility is simply peace wearing motion. Your aim is not flawless performance, but faithful pacing, matching stride to shepherd who never sprints yet is never late. Encounters await. A colleague anxious about numbers, a neighbor nursing relapse, a courier whose glare masks exhaustion. Offer harbor through settled eyes. Practice listening more than solving. Stillness can mend what explanations cannot. Speak with rounded tones, honor pauses. Prize silences as highly as syllables. When tension surfaces, lower shoulders, soften jaw, whisper. Wide my steps. Observe how atmosphere shifts as curtains part to admit light. Carry understated rituals. Trace a cross on wrist before opening email. Sip water slowly while remembering the breath prayer. Inhale mercy, exhale striving. During long calls, notice 5 textures under fingertips. Desk grain, mug rim, fabric cuff, pen barrel, air itself. These habits tether awareness to serenity's wellspring. At midday, step outside, feel asphalt warmth pulse beneath shoes. Hear cicadas praising noontime, sense heart aligning again with wider cadence. At sunset, review the trail moments, when composure steadied choices, instances where concern glided past like a harmless shadow. Celebrate these victories. Gratitude secures growth, so calm returns tomorrow. Yet tranquility never shirks storms. It strides through them wrapped in assurance. If dark clouds gather, remember sailors who trust stars beyond squall. You likewise navigate by promises etched earlier at dawn. Lift chin, inhale deeply. Feel confidence rise like tide governed by lunar pull. Even gusts become tutors, sharpening balance and fostering dependence on the one whose whisper stills seas. Finally, bless the road stretching into tomorrow. May footsteps discover fresh mercy. May quiet reach corners where fear hides. Slip off, shoes scented by grass and dawn's dew. They rest ready for next pilgrimage. You have practiced tranquility as posture, not destination, proving that heavenly calm gains fullest voice when it walks the earth in you. You step into the widening day, like a lantern touched by dawn, carrying stillness gathered in hush and breath. With every movement, calm shimmers outward, imperceptible to hurried eyes yet potent as unseen fragrance. Your smile is softer, resting upon lips the way sunlight settles on petals. It invites strangers to loosen shoulders, friends to unmask fatigue, children to laugh without reason. Serenity no longer resides only inside, it travels on your gestures, your pauses, your attentive gaze. You become a living echo of that mountain lake stillness, clear enough to reflect sky, deep enough to hold storms without overflow. As conversations unfold, you listen with the patience of old trees. Words arrive anxious, tangled, urgent. You receive them gently, untwisting threads by offering silence where panic expected rebuttal. Colleagues notice meetings drift toward collaboration instead of contest, because your tone lowers temperature, turning negotiation into shared discovery. Family senses that home can breathe again. Chores become liturgy. Meals become sanctuary. Laughter gains space to linger in doorways. Even digital spaces feel different when your replies carry measured cadence, reminding recipients that dignity stands taller than speed, yet radiating peace requires replenishment. Between tasks, you return inward, one conscious inhale, one release, as if dipping bucket into spring to keep overflow fresh. You guard thought garden from invading thistles of comparison, pruning them before roots grip. When newsfeeds clamor, you acknowledge grief yet refuse despair. Sorrow passes through your open hands and finds solace in whispered intercession. Your anchor remains wholly quiet, not ignorance. Thus you mourn with those who mourn, without surrendering to dread. Imagine days ripple widening. A commuter, soothed by your courteous nod, drives with more patience. Another traveler witnesses that courtesy and offers seat to an elder. An onlooker writes a message of encouragement to a distant friend. By nightfall the city hum carries faint undertone of hope you will never trace. This is kingdom arithmetic, small seeds of calm blossoming far from sight, returning someday as unexpected kindness toward you or someone you love. When fatigue visits, you recline beneath vault of dusk and remember dawn's promise. You recall sandaled strides of the shepherd matching your tempo, refuge walls guarding dreams, fountain of composure flowing steady. Gratitude glows like embers, and you resolve to rise tomorrow ready to kindle new light. For serenity is not a finite resource you spend, it is a river fed by inexhaustible grace, and every soul you soothe simply widens its banks. Close eyes now and bless world beyond your reach. May overworked nurses feel unseen hand of comfort. May tense classrooms inhale wonder. May alley cats curl safe from harm. As stars appear, peace you carried all day ascends like quiet incense, joining cosmic chorus of steady constellations. You rest knowing your small radiance joined a larger dawn, sweeping earth one gentle life at a time. Let your heart remember dawn's invitation. Release hurry, breathe slow, rest secure, receive calm, walk in peace, and let serenity shine through you. Picture one face that may need quiet courage today. Offer a silent blessing over that person, then entrust both of you to the endless river of grace. Carry the whisper, still waters within, as the sun climbs. Allow every step, email, and conversation to echo that refrain. Light, unforced, sustaining. Now pause, inhale mercy, exhale gratitude, and dwell for a moment in holy hush.